Hey folks, this is Josh Keck. I'll be your instructor for this class. This is for FN 151 Principles of Banking. And so this is a kind of a strange class. It's an oddball. It's not like any other class at Mount West. And by that, I mean that really what you're going to be doing is I am going to register you for ABA classes. ABA is the American Bankers Association. So you're going to take 3 classes from the ABA. And if you complete those 3 and send me the certificates for each of those 3, then you will get credit, college credit for this class. It's kind of a strange setup. Now, I'm going to have you do some stuff for me as well. I've got some discussion board things I'm going to have you do because I want to check in with you throughout the semester. I don't want you to be completely on your own with the ABA process. But just know it's kind of a strange beast in that regard. So I just want to go through the syllabus and kind of give you a lay of the land here. So let me switch over like this. So I'm over in Blackboard. If you don't know how to get into Blackboard, we need to get that taken care of. Check with the help desk or get a hold of me. Basically from the Mount West webpage, you can go to Blackboard right here in the top link there, and that's going to take you in there. And then all you need to do is find in your course list FN 151. Okay. When you open the class, I believe when you open it, it's going to take you to the announcements page. So I will have some announcements throughout the semester, just things I need to remind you of. You should have gotten this one Monday morning, and you should have also gotten it in your email. If you did not get an email from me Monday morning, then you need to figure that out because you should have gotten it unless you were registered for the class after I sent it. So, but there will be some other announcements throughout the semester that I will send out. I will try to email those to you each time as well. They don't automatically email, so I recommend I don't recommend relying on email to get announcements from me. What you can do is download the Blackboard app on your phone, and it will tell you when you have a notification of a new announcement. So that's helpful. So the announcements is the landing page. That's where you're going to go every time because I always want you to have the latest and greatest info. There is a Start Here section in Blackboard. This is the same for every single class. Read it once and you're done. It's just good information, but nothing for us. Course information is the first thing that you'll look at that has to do with us. And so I talk about how this is through the ABA. They have a video here about that, about their classes that you can check out. There's going to be 3 classes. I listed them here, and these are the learning outcomes for the course. So this is what you're going to be learning about in those American Bankers Association classes, the relationship between banks and their customers and their communities, creation of the Federal Reserve System, its role as an agent and bank regulator, deposit instruments and regulations, negotiable instruments, how banks post checks to their accounts, bank lending practices and bank loan categories, objectives of fund management, asset liability management, and bank investments, non-deposit services such as trusts, investment, and insurance, and bank security measures. So big overview of the banking industry and the principles of banking in this class through these 3 ABA modules, okay? Now, if you take these and you get these certificates, these also will build into what's called the ABA General Banking Certificate. You can't get that through me. You can't get that through Mount West. But if you decide, especially if you work in the banking industry, if you're a teller or anything in the banking industry, if you decide to get that industry credential, these will apply toward that. They will just have some other classes you'll have to take. I don't particularly recommend that over going to college because we're going to cover a lot of that same material in your accounting and finance and other classes you take here, marketing. But this class is kind of different because this is really industry specific, taught by the industry educator. So it's a little different in that regard. Here's a little video about me that you'll find. You can watch that. My office hours are listed here. This may change. I may not do these on Wednesday in my office. I might do them from home as virtual, which would be better for you guys since you're doing online. The syllabus is listed here. That's what I'm going to go through next. First thing I want you to do for this week, by the way, is just to introduce yourself to the class. You can do that from here. But that's what's under course information. let me check over to the syllabus here, and I can zoom in a little bit. Like I said, Principles of Banking, FN 151. This is an online through the ABA class, and you can find out some more here. My role is monitoring your progress. I am here if you need anything. I won't necessarily have access to the ABA stuff. You will have an ABA instructor for each of those classes, but I am here for anything that you need, okay? These ABA classes, they're not difficult. You just got to do the work that they ask, okay? So the dates, if I've got this right, I believe I do. Yeah, the banking industry is the first class you're going to take, and that starts September 2nd. It'll run for 4 weeks. Now, shortly after I record this, I am going to email my person at the West Virginia American Bankers Association, Amanda Cunningham. I'm going to email her with a list of the students in this class, and she is going to register you for these ABA courses, starting with this banking industry. And then you will get, through email, you'll get a login code so that you can get set up in their system. All right, so the first one will be banking industry. Then you're going to take a couple weeks off, and then you're going to start Bank Lines of Business October 7th. And then you'll take 3 more weeks off, and you're going to start Building Customer Relationships November 25th. Notice that this is going to run through December 20th. Our semester ends on December 13th. So I'm going to have you do something for me when we get close to the end of the semester because of that, because they don't line up properly. So we'll talk more about that later, but just know that's a thing. It's a bit of an issue. But as you finish each of these, you will need to send me the certificate of completion that you receive. Okay, and I will need all 3 of those in order to give you credit for the class. All right. That's a typo. December 20th, not 22nd. That's a typo. Anyway, there's some information about how this is going to work. So like I said, for the third one, since it's going to be after the end of the semester, there's something I'm going to have you do for me, basically. Okay, so you can read through some of this information. The textbook will be given to you. It'll be an online textbook through the ABA, I believe. We talked about the learning outcomes. We don't need to cover much of this. I'm going to skip past it. So as far as the grade for this class, this is really it's not structured this way officially, but it's really a credit, non-credit situation in this class, meaning you do the work, you're going to get an A. You don't do the work, you don't give me those certificates, you're going to fail. Okay. Really, though, it's credit, non-credit. I do have it structured as each certificate is worth 295 points, and then attendance and participation in the stuff that I ask you to do is another 115 points. And the reason I do it that way is because occasionally I will get students who do not send me or do not finish the third certificate. And so I can only count your grade based on the first 2, which will be close to 700 points. It'll be exactly 705 points if you've done, the first 2 certificates and the attendance stuff. So for some reason you ghost me at the end, I can still pass you with a C, but I really need that last certificate, okay? And you'll need to send that to me after the semester's over, after I've already submitted final grades. So be aware of that. If you don't submit it to me, you might get your grade changed, downgraded from an A to a B. The due dates will be based on what the ABA tells you. Okay, the schedule is listed here, so you can get a feel for what you need to do. You're going to be working on the first ABA course, and then the second one, and then the third one. In the interim between, I will have you do some stuff for me, discussion board stuff. Okay, I don't have anything for weeks 12 and 13 yet, but I probably will get something put in here, so I have something from you that week. Okay, my office hours are listed here. And really, everything else is kind of institutional information you don't need to worry too much about. You can look over it once. It's the same for every single class. And yeah, I think that's pretty much got me covered. Now, over in Blackboard, that was course information. There's also course materials. And this is just some more information about those ABA classes. And it's just literally an overview of what you're doing in those classes and what you need to worry about as far as getting that stuff done. I got some information about the ABA, so if you don't know what that is, you can kind of check them out. Your discussion board to introduce yourself. I want you to upload your certificate here when you have it finished. And then later, when the class is done, I want you to do this discussion board for me. Okay. And that's how I do my modules. There's only the 3 modules because they correspond to the 3 ABA classes or the time in between. Yeah, so that's pretty much how this class is structured. It's a different beast in that regard. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, thoughts, just let me know. Use my office hours, take advantage of that. If you have other classes with me, feel free to ask anytime. I'm here for you. Anytime you need me, just let me know. Appreciate it, y'all. Talk to you later.